Have you ever heard the phrase, real men don't cry? Or some other stupid phrase like, you're not a man unless you... Those are all traps. They're ridiculous statements about what a man should or should not be based off of one or a small group's narrow-minded version of what they think people should be because they can do something that other people can't, or maybe they pretend to be able to do it. I actually saw a video, I think it was a pretty old video, but somebody brought it back out, and it was some dude sitting in the gym and said, you're not a real man unless you can squat at least 2 times your body weight. What the hell does that have to do with being a man? Like, are you kidding me? Like, I'm fully bought into physical fitness, and we need to take care of ourselves. And there's some pretty significant studies out there talking about leg strength and leg capability, meaning mobility and strength, is one of the features of long, healthy lives, right? Because you got to have strong legs in order to walk around and stand up off the couch and stuff like that. But 2 times your body weight, what the hell does it have to do with being a man, right? Like, I know a bunch of dudes that are super strong and they're assholes. They're jerks, they're horrible husbands, they're absent fathers. What the hell does that have to do with being a man? And so we try to define these things, and I'm not one of those people that goes on and on about toxic masculinity. I know there's a lot of conversations about it. Got it. People doing masculinity wrong. Call it whatever you want. But it's not masculinity. It's masked as insecurity. So let's just call it what it is. It's not toxic masculinity because it's not masculinity at all. It's the absence of. It's the alpha male bullshit, which was a flawed study. It's sociology researcher that put out this flawed study about wolves and how there's these individual alpha wolves. Well, he was studying wolves in captivity. Well, yeah, so you got people, animals, anything in prison. Yeah, they're going to act like they're in prison, and they're going to create these power hierarchies. But that study was debunked by the actual original author, who realized his mistake, ended up studying wolves out in the wild, and realized actually they're monogamous partner relationships, and they're awesome parents, and they raise kids. And yes, they live in packs, but they actually have a family, a core family that they live with within the pack. Like, the whole thing about alpha males is flawed. It's garbage. And so we get these social definitions of masculinity, of what you should or should not do. And, you know, I've got my own beliefs of what I think men should be and what men should be capable of doing, whether they do it or not. But really it comes down to, I mean, if you are in the male role, it's not about controlling and being in power. It's about being a powerful person. And I think this is where, and I'm not going to crap on femininity either, but, you know, you get the women are, I'm a strong, independent woman. You shouldn't have to say it. Just go do it. I don't need you to brag about being a strong, independent anything. I just need you to go out there and figure out your shit. Decide who you want to be, and then decide what it takes to go be that. And don't tell me about it. Go do it and demonstrate it to me. And don't tell me that I'm not something unless I do this. Okay? That's not my definition. My definition is based off of me and my morals, values, principles, the character that I'm trying to build, the culture I'm trying to build in my household with my strong spouse, who doesn't need to brag about being a strong, independent woman. But she is. She's amazing. She's never once had to tell me how strong, independent she is. She's demonstrated it. But she's also shown her empathetic, caring, compassionate, strong partner side, where she wants to be in a relationship with me. We've built that strong bond over time. And it has nothing to do, and she calls me to her big bear, I don't know, whatever, something, big husky man or something like that. I've always been thick, right? I've always, even when I was a little kid, my mom would, you know, chuckle about, oh, you're going to go school shopping and buy Neil his husky pants. Like, I was never fat. I was never a skinny jean guy. So I just think it's ridiculous that we have these morons still walking around saying, well, you're not a real man unless you... Where does that even come from? If you want to wear skinny jeans, wear your skinny jeans. I don't care. It's not what this is about. But I do think that you need to be able to, as a person, just any person, should be able to carry themselves with confidence based on what you want to be. Define that and go be it. And do the things consistently over a long period of time to demonstrate. So you don't have to talk about a real man should be able to squat. I can't squat 2 times my body weight, but I've got a decent squat. Does that matter? For this conversation, no. What do you care? Especially if I'm not a, good husband or a good father. Really? That's what you want to define as a good husband. I need you to tell me what a vision of a good man looks like, a good husband, a good father, a good co-worker, a strong presence in the community. What does that look like? Define what it looks like. Paint the picture on a wall, and then design the path of what it takes to get there. It doesn't mean that this is the only way, but you have to have a vision and you have to have a path in order to get there. Otherwise, you're never really going to get anywhere, and then you're going to become a victim of this nonsense of you're not a real man unless you can drink a 5th of Jack and play darts or some stupid shit like that. Yeah, I'm clearly irritated. I don't care. I have an idea of what I think a strong man should be, and I think it's the things that I do, the things that I talk about, but more so the way that I demonstrate in the people that are closest to me. Yes, I have ideas. I want to talk about it and share my ideas of the lessons that I'm learning in my 50s, or that I have learned up until this point, that I can pass on in my 50s, of what I wish I would have known in my 20s and my 30s. But none of it matters if I don't actually live what I'm talking about. None of that matters. And this has nothing to do with my body weights, like my squat in the gym. I should be capable of, I should go to the gym and be fit. Yes, I believe that's part of, I think guys should be physically fit to be capable of not only taking care of yourself, but everybody else around you, as a caregiver, as a role model, not as the leader of the family. If that's what you believe, then that's fine. My wife and I are co-leaders in our family. I am a strong leader because I put myself in that position. I've learned what I need to learn. I've held myself accountable for those things. So yes, I work my ass off in my area of specialty in my job. I'm very good at what I do, and I'm very proud of that. I'm also very intent on being physically fit because I owe that to my family. Most of all, I owe it to myself. Because I don't want to be weak and dependent any more than I need to be. But it has nothing to do with I believe a real man should. I believe you should decide how you can stand tall in your life, in your relationships, in your community, and then go do it. I might disagree with you, but your life is not my life. So why are you going to worry so much about the way I feel about what you think a man is? There's a lot of disagreements, whether you're talking about faith or politics, any number of things that might differentiate the way that you and I think and believe and behave. I don't have to like it. It's not my life. So you define your masculinity. You define what it would look like. You define what it's going to take to make it happen. And then go make it happen. And stop relying on other idiots on the internet telling you that you have to do this or you're not a man. I made a video not too long ago where it's like, nobody cares, do it anyway. Do you think the people on the internet actually care if you can squat twice your body weight, do you think they really care? No, they don't. They're saying things for shock value or likes or listens, or to put their own dumb opinion out there that is insignificant and irrelevant to what I'm trying to do and achieve. Doesn't matter. If you look to people for, you appreciate what somebody does, you respect what somebody does, then yeah, go ahead and listen to them. Heard another interesting quote that said, do not take advice from someone, or don't take criticism from somebody that you would not approach and ask for their advice. If you would not approach this person and ask for their advice, who gives a shit what their criticism is? Who cares? It's completely irrelevant. Because what if they give you their opinion and they go off and they live their life and they never see you again? How much care and concern are you going to put into their opinion? It does not matter. Do it anyway. You got to start somewhere, though. Because if you do not define it and deliberately create it, something will still be created. You may not like it. You may not like the results. I've been there. It's hard. So stop worrying about what other people think. Stop worrying about what other people say masculinity is. If you want to be a tough guy, go be a tough guy. Go lift weights and get strong. Hell yeah. Go do those things. If you want to learn to fight, go learn to fight. I think everybody should. I've taken lots of martial arts and wrestling and boxing. Like, I'm not great at any one thing, but I'm very well rounded. May not be able to handle myself as well as I used to, but though I'm gonna take care of some business up to a certain point. I think everybody should. I really like the Jordan Peterson, regardless of what you think about Jordan Peterson, I do like the idea of weakness is not virtuous because you're just weak. Virtuous is being dangerous, being capable of violence, but not being violent unless it's absolutely necessary. That's virtuous. I've got several of my neighbors that, some are firefighters, some of them are former athletes. I know who I can count on and who I can't. I would much rather have somebody who is capable of violence and being able to defend the neighborhood and stand up to people and help my family when they're in need than to have somebody that lives next to me that if I needed something, I know I can't go to you. I don't want that. So yeah, I have opinions, but how much do you want to take my opinions into consideration? If you respect me and you like what I do and I'm an example of something that you would like to be, similar to what you would like to be, then by all means, I would love it if you followed me, listened to the videos, commented, your opinion or asked questions. I would love that. That's why I'm on here. I'm trying to help pass on knowledge. But if you're just passing by and you hear this and you disagree with it, or you don't want to follow through with it, then why would you care of my opinion? Much my opinion of what masculinity is or is not. I like to think that I have a well-rounded perspective of, from life experience and education. I like to think that I live a pretty good, healthy, well-rounded, wise life. And so with that, I hope that, maybe you have some better ideas of some reflection based off of what you want to be and some deliberate intention about what that looks like and how to get there.